Then, perfect. So my name is Nathaniel and I work for our customer success team. We also have my colleague Almog and Ruben with us, and they will assist us today with answering questions. If you do have any questions, we ask of you to ask it in the Q&A section of Zoom, not the chat, please. If you can ask it in the Q&A, that would be helpful. Today, we're going to be discussing quite a lot of exciting capabilities, and we're even going to give you a sneak peek of some of the things that are coming out next week. We will mainly focus today on some of the new time clock capabilities, job scheduling capabilities, and quick tasks and event. So hopefully that's going to be as exciting for you as it is for me. And let's begin. So the first capability that I'm going to be showing you is actually our QuickBooks integration that we released. So one of the most requested capabilities that we had in the time clock was really to integrate with more payroll providers. QuickBooks is the first one that we have integrated with. The way that it works is if I go to my time clock and into the settings at the top right, I have the integrations tab here that I can click on. And you can see here that we have the QuickBooks integration. We're also very soon done with our Gusto. And we, of course, want to add Xero and also ADP that's not on the list. That's going to come at a later stage. But all I need to do is really click on the Connect button and select Connect Integration. This will open up my QuickBooks account where I can click on Connect. There we go. And the next screen that I am taken to is my Start Matching Employees screen. And let's let it load. So basically all that I need to do is to match my users in Connecteam with the ones that I have in QuickBooks. As soon as I've done that for all of my employees, I can click on Finish, and that's great. Now you can see that I'm connected. I can click on Save Changes. Now, instead of exporting my timesheets manually, all that I need to do is to click on Export to QuickBooks, and the hours will automatically be pushed to QuickBooks. A few important things to note about the integration is that you want to make sure that your payroll period is matching what's inside QuickBooks. And another thing is that currently we only transfer the total hours for each and every day. So right now the integration does not support overtime or PTO. That's something that we hope to do in a later revision. And the integration is currently only with QuickBooks Online. So those are a few things that are important to note, but hopefully, this capability will definitely ensure that at least when you're pushing the hours, it will save you a ton of time that you can spend on other things. So that's our QuickBooks integration. A second capability that was also at the top of our feature request list is actually our Breadcrumbs capability, which allows you to see when your employees are on the move. So here you can actually see on the map view within the time clock, I can see the routes of my employees. So if you're a security company and you have lone workers, this could act as an additional safety measure. If you're a staffing company, maybe you want to see when your employees go to your clients, or if you're a logistics or transportation company, then you can see their daily routes and again, make actionable insights based on those. So highly requested capability. We're very excited to have it out. The way that you activate it is, again, go to your settings, click on geolocation, and here you'll have the ability to enable breadcrumbs. What is important to note is that when your employees clock in for the first time, they will get a little pop-up that says that they need to turn on the location settings of their application, of the Connecteam application, to always. The reason why it has to be set to always is so that if they turn off their phone, then we will still track their time. So those are some really important things to note. And yeah, that's it about the QuickBooks about the Breadcrumbs capability. A few more things to mention as well is the fact that it only measures your employees when they are on the move. So we've actually managed to save 85% less battery than traditional GPS location tracking services, because if your employee stays in the same spot, we don't track their movement. It's only when they move around, which saves them battery. Another important thing for your employees' sake to note is that we don't track or document their location or provide that to anyone when they are not clocked in to protect their privacy. This is something that we only do while they are on the clock. An additional capability that we've also added to the time clock, this is really for the larger organizations out there. What you can do now, if you have several time clocks, is you can export all of them into one unified timesheet by clicking here on the export button. You can choose here timesheets, and you can select the payroll period or the date range that you want to export, and you can click get report, and it will be emailed to you. So that should definitely save you a ton of time, especially if you're a large organization with a lot of time clocks. Another thing to keep in mind here is that currently it only works if you have the same overtime and break settings. That's something we're gonna be working on the future to allow you a bit more flexibility there. But just to be completely transparent, that is how it's working right now. But it should hopefully, again, save you a ton of time when you are doing your exports. So that's in regards to our time clock. I'm going to give you a few moments to ask your questions in the Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. So we're getting a few questions about plan limitations. I thought I would address it. So some of these capabilities that I'm going through today, they will exist on a range of plans. So some will be on the basic, some will be on the advanced, some will be on the expert plan. So that is something to keep in mind when I'm going over some of these capabilities, just so you know. Someone also asked about QuickBooks Desktop. So currently we don't support QuickBooks Desktop. That is something that we're still trying to figure out and understand how we can do in the future. But it's definitely something that we are considering because we know that there are a lot of QuickBooks Desktop users. I got a question from Fawn in regards to two capabilities that we will be releasing that you can maybe see here on my sidebar, the documents and recognitions. I'm not going to spoil it yet. I'm going to spend 2 minutes and talk about them at the end. But don't worry, we have some exciting things coming out very, very soon. Awesome. So I'm going to move over to our job schedule. So let me click into my job schedule in here. Perfect. So if you're, let's say, a staffing company or a retail company, these are two common industries that I can think of. One of the things that was highly requested from those industries is for your employees to not only say when they are unavailable to work, but actually tell you when they are available. So that is something that we have now added into Connecteam within the schedule. The way you set it up is by going to options, click on settings, and under mobile app, you can enable availability, and you can choose the second option here, where users can mark unavailability and when they prefer to work. So how does this look from the user side of things? On the right side, you can see my mobile screen. Here I can click onto my schedule. I can go to job schedule and I can select my availability. And here I can choose prefer to work. So just like the unavailability, you can say if this is all day, you can choose the date. You can, of course, put a note. I can also make this for specific hours if I want to. And an additional thing that was highly requested is the ability to have your availabilities repeat. So if I check this box, then I can actually say that I'm available to work from those hours that I put before, and I can have it end on a specific date. So in theory, I could make myself available for the year if I wanted to. So that should save your employees a ton of time when they input this information. This is also available for the unavailability, of course. And as a manager, I can then see it on my schedule, which will allow me to make a more informed decision when I'm scheduling my employees. I can also click on the actions button, and we added the ability to add it from here as well. So I can click on actions and add work preference. I can select my user. I can put a note, choose a date, and have it repeat if I want. And of course, it would show up on my schedule. So that's in regards to the availability. We also added a few more different view options here to make it a bit easier when you view your schedule. I can, for instance, remove the work preferences. I can hide the conflicts if I want to, and so on and so forth. Another exciting capability that we added to our schedule is the ability to multi-select shifts. So if before I would have to drag around all of these shifts to assign them to a specific person, what I can do now is I can select all of them with the select option. And here at the bottom, I can click on actions, and I can basically reassign this to another user. I can unpublish all of the shifts. I can change the job if I want to, and so on and so forth. Another exciting thing is that if I select 2 shifts for 2 different users, is I can actually create a team chat for all my employees that are working on the same day. So one of the things that has been really important for us is, of course, to integrate all of our solutions. Since we are an all-in-one platform, we want to have everything in one place. So now you can select a few shifts that belong to your users, and you can create a team chat for those specific users. And let's see, fantastic. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that if you're a company that has several schedules, then what you can do now is you can actually see schedule conflicts from another schedule. So if you have an employee that might belong to 2 schedules, if they are scheduled on another schedule, me as a dispatcher would see that on the schedule that I am working on. And now I know that I will not schedule my employee on this specific date and time. And to activate this, I can go to options, settings, and limitations, and I can enable conflicts with other schedules. So that's in regards to our scheduling capabilities. I'm gonna again leave you a few moments to ask your questions, and I'll try to answer some of them live as well. So Jordan was asking if you can add admin people to that team chat. If they are assigned to the schedule and you select them as well, then yes, you would be able to add them to that specific team chat. That is possible. John was asking a question if under view by jobs, if I can hide the jobs that are currently not in use. So what you can do today, currently you cannot necessarily hide the jobs, but very soon we're going to add the ability. Let's say you have a job that's no longer in use, but you still want to keep the information. We are going to be adding the ability to archive a job, which should hopefully solve that issue for you. Fantastic. So now I'm going to move over to our quick tasks. Let me just open up my sidebar. And on the left side, I'm going to click here on quick tasks. So for those that don't know, the quick task capability is really here to allow you to create those daily tasks that maybe you tell your employees to do, and then you forget about them. So this is really the place where you can click on add task, add a single task. Let's say I've created a course for my employees to complete, or a company policy. What I can do is go over company policy. And one of the things that we added is the ability to attach a shortcut to that company policy. So let's see here, I can choose policies and company policies and assign it to a specific employee. And this could be a task that this employee has to do. So again, this deep link is really here. As I mentioned before, it's important for us to really integrate everything and really be that true all-in-one solution that you're looking for. If I click on publish task, it would then be assigned to my user. I'm just going to discard because I did that before. You can see it over here. And as an employee, what I can do is I can go to my quick tasks capability. I can see here that I have one open task for Saturday. I can click on it and I can see it says go over new company policy. I can click on it. I can click here on the shortcut that would take me to my course that has my policies. And I can basically make sure that I read over the policy. As I scroll down, I can click on I've read and understand. And as soon as I'm done and I've gone over the policy, I can mark it as done. I have that little sound there to let me know that it's been completed. And there we go. My manager would, of course, also be notified. And that way we've closed the loop. And that task that I might have forgotten and not been able to follow up on is suddenly very actionable and provides you, the insights that you're really, really looking for. Any questions about the quick tasks capability or about the shortcuts, feel free to ask them in Q&A. I'm going to leave you another moment to ask your questions. Fantastic. Okay, Jack came in with a question. If we have tasks assigned daily, but an employee forgets, are they able to access it in the future? So yes, if an employee, let's say, doesn't do the task and the day has already passed, then you would be able to see all the overdue tasks that you haven't completed here at the top right. So absolutely. Perfect. I'm going to move over to our events capability. So one of the things that has been important for us is to allow you to really create engaging events for your employees. So if I click on add new, I can select here a background. I can do a company party and I can write an event description. And I can put here the start and end time and click on next. So one of the new things that we added is actually the ability to customize the responses and spice up your event a bit more. So let's see how that can look like. So if I go back, I can go here to my Christmas party. And you can see here at the bottom that I've added a few emojis, again, just to make it a bit more fun and a bit more engaging for your employees when they're looking at your events. and to attend them. I know that Christmas is quite far away, but that was as far as my imagination could take me. I'm going to leave another few moments to ask a few questions, and then I'm going to summarize. Perfect. So finally, I want to say thank you all for joining this webinar. I hope it's been as fun and exciting for you guys as it's been for us. We're always trying to improve the system and make sure that we release capabilities that are based on your feedback. Every single capability that you've seen in here has been requested by you, our clients. So we are really thankful, keep sending us your requests. It's really important for us so that we can develop the platform further. Finally, I do want to give you a tiny teaser. You can see here on the left, we have 2 new completely capabilities. You can see them in beta that we will be releasing in the next couple of days. It is the documents capability that will allow you to upload documents for your employees. They can then download them, sign them, and upload them back, and you can view them in a very neat and organized way. We also have the recognitions, which will allow you to recognize employees for specific achievements. There are also 2 other capabilities in here that you cannot see right now, which is the timeline and also the rewards. And that will be part of our HR suite of capabilities that we've been working on for a very long time. It's probably going to be one of the biggest releases that we've had to date. And we're going to have a specific HR webinar for the HR hub that it's called. So stay tuned for that. Check your inboxes. We are, as mentioned, really, really excited for that. And that's it. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining. We're going to stay around for another few minutes in case you want to continue asking questions. We do have a little survey at the end as well. If you want to take a moment to answer that, that will help us to make sure that we always, provide content that you enjoy. And this segment, What's New webinar, this will be running monthly. So make sure to tune in for the HR webinar and also for the end of month new releases webinar that we just had right now. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.